In the last two videos I showed you how the police arriving procedures worked, and I fiddled around with that and I improved upon it a bit. In this video I will show you how I have expanded the procedures and systems for the police cars arriving to allow for traffic in general, that is cars beyond police cars driving around on the streets in the game. So if we first take a look at the code here, all this gray text is the old police arriving and police cars driving procedures, and as you can tell if I scroll through it here, all of it refers to these police arriving, this police arriving array. So what I did is that I took most of the code here, and instead of using a general or a specific police arriving array, I changed it into this, which is called moving cars. And of course that's not the only change, but that is the underlying idea of the change here. I then moved this to a procedure that's called do moving cars, and then when I want to move police cars, I check if it is currently active on the map, and then I just call the do moving car procedure on the police car. I then also call the same procedure for all other moving cars that aren't the police arriving cars, because I shouldn't be moving those twice. So that is what I do here. I loop through all the moving cars and check if they are currently on the map, if they have an associated multi-tile item number. And if they do, then I check if this specific moving car also happens to be a police arriving car. And if it is, then I set this Boolean variable to false, which means that it won't do the moving car procedure for this specific moving car, because it already did it up here for the police arriving. So that is what I did code-wise. I then also added some stuff for adding the general traffic in the editor in the game. So let's take a look at that. If I fire up the game here. Okay, and let's go into the editor. And this is the old adding police arriving waypoints. There's an entry waypoint here that will drive over here, and turn right, and so on. You can maybe remember that from the last videos. But now I also have a mode called car spawns. And if I want to add a new one, I click new. And then let's add some cars on the freeway up here to start with. I want it to spawn here. And then I want them to drive all the way down the freeway, and exit point should be here. I can then designate whether or not the car spawning here should be driving fast or slow. And since this is a freeway, they should be driving fast. And I can also designate the spawn rate. That is how often and how many cars will spawn at that point. So let's put that here. And let's add one more for another lane. So new, and add it here. And add the final waypoint down here. The code automatically knows that when the car reaches a waypoint that doesn't have any ground, it will despawn. And put it to fast and higher spawn rate. And let's also have a slow driving one. We can add a new one here that would drive this way. And out here, and then all the way across the map here. And let's put it to that. So cars should now be spawning at these spawn points and drive across the map between the waypoints that I have set. So let's exit develop mode, or the editor mode. Let's see if we get any cars up here. Yep, there we go. I don't have that many car models in the game yet, so it will be mostly the same 2 or 3 car models spawning. But as you can tell, I added a feature for randomizing the colors of the cars, so they don't look completely the same. Let's see if we are getting any cars here. And yeah, here are some slow driving cars. And let's try running over to stand in the street. Cars should stop in front of me. Here comes a couple. And as you can tell, the car engine sound also goes into an idle car engine sound. That's a nice little detail, I thought. Let's make them drive them. So that is all very nice and cool. It all seems to be working. I did run into one minor issue though, and that is with arriving police cars. Because when I added the waypoints for the arriving police cars, I didn't take into account that I would be adding more traffic at a later point. So some of the police cars are driving on the wrong side of the street, which of course causes traffic congestion. So let's make the police cars arrive. Let's see what happens. There's no problem with that one. Of course we have a problem here, since that car should be driving in this lane, so I'll be extending the map a bit in this direction to allow the police car to drive in this lane. And here comes the other one. So the other ones weren't blocked. So I just need to go through this map and the first map and make sure that the police cars aren't driving in the wrong side of the street. That's not a big deal. So that's basically it. We now have traffic in the game. There is another minor issue I actually have to take care of at some point with relation to traffic. Let's add some cars here to show you what that issue is. So the spawn point here. And I want that car to drive up into the intersection here and take a left turn. It should be there, yeah. And let's just have it drive off the edge of the map here and spawn quite a few cars. And have another spawn point here that also drives into the intersection and wants to make a left turn. You can maybe figure out where I'm going with this. And this car will be exiting over here. Let's run this and see what happens. Also, cars don't stop for red lights at the moment, which is something they will have to do. They do stop for pedestrians. And of course pedestrians also don't care about red lights and stuff. That's something I will also be adding later. It shouldn't be all that difficult. Let's see if we can get the issue. And here we are. The cars are all blocking each other. So that's not all too good. The way I will be fixing this is probably to, when a car reaches a spot where there is this line in front of it, first of all I will be checking if this line will only appear on the ground if the car is driving into an intersection with a traffic light. So first of all I will be checking if the light for that car in that direction is green. And when I do that check, I will also be checking if the car will be driving forwards and turning left in the intersection. And if that is the case, then I need to check if there is a car in the opposite direction that also wants to drive into the intersection and turn left. And if that is the case, then the car should probably just wait at this point in front of this line until the other car has driven in and turned left. So that should fix that, and that is something I'll be adding probably at the same time that I'll also add car stopping for red lights and such. But anyway, all the basics of traffic are working, and I like it. It adds some life to the game, I think, just beyond having pedestrians, since it does seem a bit odd to have roads if there aren't any cars beyond the arriving police cars driving on the roads. So anyway, that's it. Thank you for watching, and I will see you again in 2 weeks. Yeah, that won't be the Christmas holiday yet, so I will see you again in 2 weeks. Bye!